The council chamber of the galaxy was massive. It was shaped like a dome, stretching so wide that even the largest species could sit inside. Dozens of alien banners floated in the air. Glowing holograms of fleets hovered above the round table endless. Ships of every alien empire. The voices of the council echoed like thunder, sharp and cruel. They were laughing. The laughter was not friendly. It was bitter, mocking. The aliens were laughing at one subject only: humanity. They are late to space, a scaled creature hissed, its long tongue snapping. Their fleets are small. Their weapons are old. They wait for permission before they even lift a finger. Earthlings are too disciplined. Another alien grinned, showing rows of metallic teeth. Always waiting for orders. Always too slow. In war, hesitation is death, and humans hesitate more than anyone. The chamber roared with cruel laughter. Holograms showed Earth's fleet small ships, fragile compared to the giants of other species. A floating display compared sizes. Human cruisers looked like toys beside massive alien dreadnoughts. The audience of galactic leaders sneered. Some even shook their heads, as if the very thought of humans fighting a war was comedy. At the far side of the chamber, the human representatives sat quietly. They did not laugh. They did not argue. They simply listened. Their uniforms were plain, their faces calm, but their eyes were sharp, watching every sneer, every insult. The aliens thought this silence was weakness. They whispered to each other. See? Humans have nothing to say. They are too afraid. But the humans were waiting, not for permission, not for orders. They were waiting for the right moment. A tall, insect-like council member tapped his claw on the table. Show the proof. He demanded. Show the recording. Let everyone see how the humans behaved when they faced a true fleet. The chamber dimmed. The laughter slowed. In the center of the room, a new hologram appeared, a frozen image of space. A lone human warship, surrounded by dozens of alien vessels. Its dark hull bore the name Resolute. The lights on its surface glowed like tiny stars. Around it, alien warships circled like predators, their weapons charged, their commanders confident of victory. The audience chuckled again. Yes, yes, one whispered. Watch how long they wait. Watch how helpless they are. The hologram flickered to life. The recording began. Inside the bridge of the human ship, the crew worked quickly, but silently. They knew they were outnumbered. Screens showed incoming missiles, enemy weapons powering, hostile ships closing in. The alien fleet was waiting for one thing, for their leader to give the order to fire. The humans had no orders from Earth, no permission, no command from their higher council. And yet, something happened. The camera shifted to the captain of the Resolute. His face was calm, but his eyes were cold steel. His crew looked at him, waiting. No one spoke. No one dared. They all knew they were seconds from destruction. The alien fleet sent a final warning. Stand down. Do not resist. Surrender, or you will be destroyed. The human captain did not answer. He stood slowly, placing his hand on the console. The room was so quiet, even the breathing of the crew could be heard. Across the galactic council chamber, dozens of species leaned forward. Their laughter stopped. The silence grew heavy, like a storm about to break. Then the captain spoke. His voice was steady. We don't wait. The crew's eyes widened. The captain leaned closer to his officers. His tone was sharper, stronger, carrying a power that filled the entire chamber through the recording. We don't wait. We decide. And with no permission, no order from above, no hesitation, the human captain gave the command. Fire! The bridge shook as weapons unleashed. Blazing light erupted from the Resolute. Missiles streaked across the void. Cannons roared. The first human shot hit a critical alien ship, tearing it apart in an instant. Fire spread across the hologram as one of the galaxy's proudest warships exploded into nothing dot in the council chamber. Silence fell. The laughter was gone. Every alien stared at the hologram, shocked. The image of the human captain, calm, fearless, and unyielding, burned itself into their minds. This was not hesitation. This was not weakness, Dot. It was something new, something dangerous, and it was only the beginning. The council chamber was silent. Recordings still glowed in the air, showing the human warship Resolute firing first. Flames of battle spread through the hologram. Alien warships twisted and broke as the human missiles struck. Dozens of council members leaned closer. Some looked angry. Some looked shocked. But all of them felt the same thing: disbelief. No, whispered a tall reptilian general. They cannot. They should not. Another slammed his claw on the table. Impossible. Humans don't act without permission. They follow rules. They obey orders. They do not fire first. But the proof was right in front of them. The recording showed the Resolute unleashing. Another volley. The human ship was smaller than every alien vessel around it, but its weapons struck with deadly precision. Alien shields shattered. Flames spread across the void. Inside the recording, the human crew moved like lightning. Their eyes were sharp, their hands steady. No hesitation. No fear. They followed their captain without question. The alien fleet began to scatter. Commanders shouted orders, but it was too late. The humans had already chosen the rhythm of the fight. Dot in the council chamber. Whispers turned into shouts. They are reckless. They broke the law of the stars. They must be punished. But one old alien sat in silence. His 4 eyes narrowed as he watched. Slowly, a strange thought grew in his mind. No, not reckless, not foolish. Something else. The recording jumped forward. A massive alien battleship moved to crush the Resolute. Its cannons glowed, preparing to fire. The ship was 3 times larger, armed with weapons that could level a city. Everyone in the council chamber leaned forward. This is it, they thought. Now the humans will fall. But then the human captain spoke again. His voice was calm, steady. Target the reactor. Ignore the shields. The Resolute's crew obeyed instantly. Weapons locked. Cannons flared. A single missile slipped through a weak point in the alien armor. Dot. And then, boom. Dot, the enemy battleship erupted into fire. Its own reactor tore it apart from the inside. The explosion lit up the hologram like a second sun. The council chamber gasped. Some aliens jumped to their feet in shock. They destroyed it? With one shot? That was not chance, another whispered. That was skill. The human representatives, sitting quietly at the edge of the chamber, did not smile. They only watched. Their silence was more powerful than any words. The recording showed more chaos. Alien ships broke formation, their commanders panicking. They had expected humans to hesitate, to surrender, to beg for orders. Instead, they faced a predator that struck without waiting. The Resolute fought like a cornered wolf. Outnumbered, outgunned, but fearless. Every shot counted. Every move was sharp. One alien commander in the recording shouted across the channel, "You broke the law. You broke the order of war. You will pay for this." The human captain's reply was simple. "We don't wait. We decide." Then he cut the channel and fired again. Dot in the chamber. Arguments exploded. "They are dangerous," shouted a bird-like senator, wings shaking. "If humans act without permission, they cannot be trusted. They will bring chaos to the galaxy." A worm-like overlord screeched, "Every war, every treaty, every law will collapse." But others were silent. Their minds raced with fear and respect. Dot, if humans could act without permission, how could they ever be predicted? How could anyone control them? The recording faded to black, The chamber was left in silence again. The last image burned in their minds. The human ship Resolute, scarred but still standing, surrounded by wreckage. Of larger alien vessels, the presiding council leader, a giant creature of stone and light, finally spoke. His voice rumbled like thunder. "Explain this." The human ambassador stood. His face was calm, his voice even. "The recording is true. One of our captains acted without orders. He chose to fire. He chose to strike first." "Without permission?" Another alien shouted. "Yes," the human answered. "Without permission." The chamber shook with outrage. Some leaders screamed for punishment, others for war. But a few remained silent, staring at the humans with new eyes. The ambassador did not flinch. He let their voices echo, then said one. "Last thing, now you understand why the galaxy will never forget the moment humans fired." And then he sat down. The chamber trembled with fear. The council chamber did not calm. Even after the recording ended, voices rose like fire in a storm. Dozens of alien leaders shouted at once, their words mixing into chaos. "They broke every law of war. They acted without orders. Humans must be punished before they bring destruction to us all." The stone-skinned council leader struck the floor with his massive hand. The chamber shook, and silence slowly returned. "Enough," he rumbled. His glowing eyes turned toward the human delegation. "We demand an explanation. Why did your captain fire without orders?" The human ambassador stood again. His uniform was plain, his posture calm, but his presence filled the chamber with quiet strength. "He fired because he chose survival," the ambassador said. His voice was steady, each word slow and clear. "He acted because waiting meant death. He did not wait for permission. He did not wait for orders. He decided." The aliens hissed, growled, and muttered. Some shook their heads in anger. Others exchanged nervous glances. One insectoid commander leaned forward, mandibles clicking. "But that is reckless. To fire without command your kind could start wars. That should never begin." The human ambassador did not flinch. "Or," he said softly, "we could end wars before they truly start." The chamber erupted again, but this time it was not only anger. It was fear. The captain's thoughts far away from the council. The human captain of the Resolute sat alone in his quarters. The battle was over, but the weight of his decision still lingered. His crew respected him, but he knew the galaxy would question him forever. He replayed the battle in his mind. The enemy fleet had been too large. Waiting for orders would have been suicide. The aliens had expected hesitation, expected weakness. But he had seen something different. Humans had studied alien war for decades. In every simulation, in every recorded battle, aliens waited. They always followed chains of command. They always delayed until permission was granted. That was their law, their order, their weakness, and humans had learned to break it. The captain leaned back in his chair, eyes heavy with memory. He had not acted recklessly. He had acted with a plan one hidden deep within humanity's new doctrine of war. Strike first. Strike hard. Never wait for permission when survival is at stake. His decision was not a mistake. It was a message. Back. In the council, the human ambassador knew the council could not understand yet. He let them argue, let them rage. But he saw the fear in their eyes. Finally, a tall avian admiral spoke. Her feathers shimmered, but her voice trembled. "If humans can fire without permission, how can any fleet predict you? How can treaties hold? How can peace survive?" The ambassador's reply was simple. Peace has never survived because of rules. Peace survives because someone is willing to act when no one else will. The words cut deep into the chamber. Some alien leaders looked away, as if ashamed. Others glared, their pride wounded. The truth was clear. Humanity had revealed something terrifying. Not stronger ships, not bigger fleets, but a mindset, a way of thinking the galaxy had never faced before. The quiet fear whispers spread beyond the chamber. Across the galaxy, alien citizens heard of the Battle of the Resolute. They spoke in markets, in stations, in military academies. Did you hear? The humans fired first. They say one ship destroyed 3 warships before the enemy even reacted. They don't wait for permission. What kind of species does? That fear grew. But beneath that fear, something else grew too: respect. Some alien soldiers began to whisper in secret, maybe the humans are right. Maybe waiting for permission is why we always lose the first strike. Others condemned. They thought, calling it dangerous. Yet the seed was planted. The galaxy had been ruled for centuries by order and delay. But now, humans had shown a different path. The captain's hidden plan back on the Resolute. The captain gathered his officers. He looked at their tired faces, the scars of battle still fresh. What we did will echo across the stars, he told. Them, they will call us reckless. They will call us dangerous. But they will also know this: humans do not wait to die. We act to live. His crew nodded in silence. They understood. Then he revealed something none of them had spoken aloud. The strike had not been blind luck. The captain had studied enemy formations for years. He had known where to hit, when to strike, and how to shatter their order. It was not madness. It was preparation. It was the hidden plan of humanity. Back to the council. The council demanded answers again and again. But the humans gave little. Reptilian generals snarled. Tell us, was this an accident? Or is this your new strategy? The human ambassador's eyes narrowed. His answer was quiet, but it chilled the entire chamber. It was a choice, and choices will be made again. The room froze. The galaxy finally understood. This was not one reckless captain. This was humanity's way now. They were no longer a species that waited. They were a species that decided. Closing suspense that night, the council chambers emptied. But the echoes of the debate did not fade. Across the stars, fleets prepared for war. Some plotted revenge. Some planned defense. And, in the shadows, humans prepared too. Their hidden plan was spreading. Their doctrine was set. And the galaxy had no idea how far humans were willing to go. The moment one ship fired first was only the beginning. The galaxy could not stay quiet. News of the Resolute's battle spread faster than any ship. From the great cities of the core to the mining colonies at the edges of known space, everyone heard the same story. A human ship fired first. It was repeated in whispers, shouted in markets, and printed across glowing news screens. Each retelling made it more dramatic. Some claimed the Resolute destroyed 5 enemy warships. Others swore it had taken down 10. In every version, one detail never changed. The humans had fired without waiting. Shock in the streets, in a crowded alien marketplace. A group of reptilian traders huddled together. One held up a holoscreen. "Look here," he said, scales shimmering nervously. "It's real." The recording was shown in the council itself. The humans didn't wait for permission. They attacked first. Another hissed in disbelief. No one fires first. That is the law of the stars. That is how war is controlled. But they did, the first whispered. His voice trembled with something between fear and awe, and they won. Across the square, young alien soldiers leaned in to listen. They exchanged uneasy glances. The words carved into their minds. Humans don't wait. Military panic in distant command centers, alien. Admirals argued with one another. Maps of the galaxy glowed red with alerts. If humans are willing to strike without orders, then treaties mean nothing. One shouted. His spines rattled in anger. We must prepare fleets now. Strike Earth before they strike us again. Another. Admiral, older and calmer, shook his head. Do you not see? That is what makes them dangerous. They do not wait. They do not announce their war. They choose the moment, and then they strike. The room grew heavy with silence. Every commander understood the truth. Humans had changed the game. Seeds of respect yet. Not every voice spoke with fear. In a training academy on a distant moon, a young alien cadet whispered to his friends, "They say the humans destroyed ships 3 times their size. Do you know how? They aimed for weak points. They acted fast. They didn't hesitate." Another cadet frowned. "You admire them?" The first one nodded slowly. "Maybe hesitation is the real weakness. Maybe they are stronger because they act." Those words spread like fire among the young. Respect began to grow in secret places. Soldiers and civilians alike wondered if humans could break the rules and survive. Maybe the rules were never. Strong at all. The human silence meanwhile, the human ambassadors remained quiet. They did not celebrate. They did not boast. They simply let the galaxy speak for them. In the council chambers, when questioned again, the human representative gave the same answer. Our captain chose survival. He decided, that is all. The lack of detail made the mystery stronger. Were humans hiding something? Was this a new doctrine of war? Or was it just one reckless decision? The galaxy did not know. And that uncertainty was more terrifying than any fleet. Enemies stirred. Species whose fleet had been destroyed burned with rage. Their leaders shouted for revenge. Their soldiers demanded blood. They cannot be allowed to break the law of the stars. Their emperor roared. If humans can fire without orders, then every battle will descend into chaos. They must be punished. Their world must be humbled. Secret fleets began to move. Warships gathered at hidden bases. Plans for invasion were whispered in shadows. The galaxy felt the tension grow, like a storm building at the horizon. Allies in doubt, even Earth's allies grew nervous. A delegation of allied species met in private. Humans are bold, one said. But boldness can bring destruction. If they fire first at us one day, what then? Another shook his head. They are dangerous, yes, but perhaps they are necessary. The old laws of war have always protected the strong. Maybe the humans are showing a new path. No one agreed. No one felt safe. The captain's weight back aboard the Resolute. The captain walked the corridors in silence. The crew looked at him with respect, even admiration. But he felt the weight of what he had done. One shot. One decision. And now the entire galaxy was watching. He knew the truth. His choice had not only saved his ship, it had changed how every species saw humanity. From now on, humans would be feared, and he also knew fear was a weapon. Whispers across the stars, in taverns, in academies, in hidden war councils, the same phrase began to spread. Humans don't lie. The galaxy had lived under rules for centuries. Wars were brutal, yes, but they were also controlled. Every fleet waited for permission before the first strike. Every commander obeyed the laws of the stars. It was order cold, fragile order, but it kept chaos away. Now, because of one human captain, that order was broken. The council in chaos, the council chamber, no longer sounded like a hall of leaders. It sounded like a battlefield of words. Dozens of alien delegates shouted over each other. They cannot be trusted. They will destroy every treaty. Strike them down before others copy them. The stone-skinned council leader slammed the floor with his hand again, the dome shaking from his power. "Silence," he roared. "We must decide together, or there will be no council at all." But even his voice could not bring true silence. The order of the galaxy had already cracked. Fleets. In the shadows across the stars, war fleets moved in secret. One reptilian empire gathered ships near a dark nebula. The humans must be contained, their admiral growled. Strike their colonies first, burn their stations, cripple their courage before they spread. On another world, insectoid generals sharpened their claws against the table. The humans showed us something new, one admitted. They showed us freedom from chains. But freedom is dangerous. If others follow, the galaxy will fall into chaos. So they too prepared fleets ready to fight humanity, or ready to copy them. The lines between fear and respect blurred with every passing hour. The old laws crumble, the laws of war had always been clear. No ship fires without permission. No fleet acts without command. But now, soldiers across the galaxy began to doubt Dot in training grounds. Cadets whispered to each other, "Why wait? Humans don't, and they win." On distant frontiers, officers hesitated before calling their commanders. They thought of the humans. They thought of survival. And more, they acted on their own. The old order, built for centuries, began to collapse in silence. Earth's quiet preparation on Earth. Leaders met behind locked doors. Screens glowed with reports of alien fleets moving closer. "They will not forgive us," one general said. "They will come," another agreed. "Then we must be ready." Earth's fleets were small, yes, but they were cunning. Engineers worked night and day, building weapons designed not for strength, but for surprise. Pilots trained to move fast, to act without waiting. The doctrine was clear now. Strike first. Strike hard. Decide quickly. Humanity was not waiting for the war to come. Humanity was preparing to begin it. Divisions among the aliens, the galaxy grew restless. Even allies began to split. Some leaders cried out, "Humans are reckless destroyers. If we do not stop them now, the galaxy will drown in fire." Others answered, "Or maybe they are the only ones brave enough to break free from the old chains. Maybe the galaxy needs them." The council fractured. Unity cracked. Old enemies stopped fighting each other and turned to watch. Earth instead. The balance of the galaxy was gone. The human captain aboard the Resolute. The human captain stood on the bridge, staring at the stars. His crew worked quietly, repairing damage from the last battle. But he knew what awaited them. "They think I broke the rules," he said softly, as if speaking to the stars. "But the truth is, the rules were already broken. We were the first to admit it." He looked at his officers, their tired faces lit by the glow of screens. "The galaxy thinks we are dangerous. Maybe they're right. But remember this. We don't wait, we decide. And that is why we will survive." His crew nodded. They believed whispers of rebellion on distant planets. Some alien citizens began to rise in one city. Young soldiers painted human words on the wall. "We decide." In another, smugglers carried secret recordings of the Resolute's battle, showing them in hidden markets. People cheered when the alien battleship exploded. For centuries, the laws of the stars had chained every species. Now, one human ship had shown another way. Not everyone hated humanity. Some were beginning to follow them. A brewing storm, the council leader summoned the chamber once more. His stone voice trembled, though he tried to hide it. "Order is broken." He admitted, "The humans have unleashed chaos. We must choose either destroy them or change forever." But no one agreed. Half the chamber demanded war. Half demanded patience. And in the silence between their voices, a truth became clear. The galaxy was already at war. The only question was when the first shot of this greater conflict would be fired. Closing suspense in the shadows of space, fleets moved like predators. Earth armed its colonies. Old alliances cracked. Young soldiers whispered new words of rebellion. The old laws of the stars were dying, and in their place, humanity's way spread like fire. We don't wait. We decide. The galaxy trembled, for it knew what came next. The storm was no longer on the horizon. It was here. The stars were quiet. Too quiet. Every fleet, every empire, every soldier knew it was coming. They could feel the storm in their bones. The galaxy was holding its breath. And then the storm began. The first strike. The alien coalition gathered on the edge of the Sol system. Hundreds of warships filled the darkness, their weapons glowing with power. It was the largest fleet in centuries. A display of pure force. The council leader himself sent a message. Humans, surrender your fleets. Surrender your worlds. If you do not, we will erase you. Earth answered with silence. The alien admirals waited. In the old order, silence meant hesitation. It meant fear. It meant waiting for approval. But Earth did not wait. The Resolute appeared from the shadows of a dead moon, its weapons charged, its crew calm. The human captain spoke only 3 words to his officers. Fire without asking. The first human. Missiles screamed through the void, faster than any council warship had prepared for. They tore through shields, struck the lead alien dreadnought, and turned it into burning fragments. For the second time, humanity had fired without permission. And this time, the entire galaxy was watching. The chaos of battle, the council fleet answered. With rage, thousands of plasma bolts lit up the dark. Missiles carved trails of fire across the stars. The war had begun, but humanity did not fight the old way. They did not wait for orders. They did not follow the chain of command. They struck fast, unpredictable, reckless. Every human ship moved like a predator unchained. Frigates darted through gaps, striking from angles no alien commander expected. Cruisers fired weapons never seen before, mines that clung to shields. EMP bursts that blinded sensors. The aliens fought with strength, with numbers, with order. But order was slow, and against humans, slow was death. The turning point, the alien coalition pressed hard. Dozens of human ships were destroyed. Colonies shook under bombardment. Earth's defense grid strained, glowing red with heat. But then, something happened the Council had not predicted. Alien soldiers, reptilians, insectoids, even stone-skinned warriors began refusing orders. They had seen the recordings. They had whispered the words, "We don't wait. We decide." In the middle of the great battle, whole units broke away from the coalition fleet. Some turned their guns on their former allies. Others fled, unwilling to fight humans who had given them hope. The coalition fractured in real time, chaos spreading faster than fire. The human captain saw it and gave the order. Push forward. This is the moment. The final gambit, the Resolute, led the charge straight into the heart of the alien armada. Human ships followed, battered but unbroken. Missiles cut open a path. Railguns thundered. Explosions lit the void like stars being born. The captain's voice carried across the bridge. They thought firing first was madness. Show them it is survival. The Resolute slammed through the alien lines, targeting the Council flagship itself. The stone-skinned leader appeared on the coms, his voice breaking for the first time. "You will destroy the galaxy." He roared, "No." The human captain answered, calm and steady. "We will save it from your chains." And with one final strike, the Resolute unleashed its full arsenal. The Council flagship shattered into fire and silence. Silence. After the storm, the battlefield went quiet. Alien fleets scattered. Some surrendered. Some fled into the dark. Some simply powered down, unwilling to fight anymore. Humanity had done the impossible. Against overwhelming numbers, against centuries of law, against the entire order of the galaxy, they had not just survived. They had won, but victory came at a cost. Earth's fleets burned. Many colonies lay in ruin. The Resolute itself floated, half broken its engines dead, its captain staring at the stars through smoke and fire. He whispered to himself, though the galaxy would never hear it. We didn't wait. We decided, and now nothing will ever be the same. The legacy news spread faster than light. Across alien worlds, people shouted the human words in the streets. Soldiers painted them on armor. Children carved them into walls. The council was gone. The old laws were dead. A new age had begun. Some feared humanity. Some hated them. Some worshipped them. But none could ignore them, because in one moment, one choice, one strike, humanity had changed the galaxy forever. Closing suspense generations later, alien historians would gather in the ruins of old temples. Whispering of the day, the humans broke the chains. They would tell their children. There was a moment when humans fired without asking, and the galaxy never forgot. And in the silent stars, the memory of that fire still burned. Humanity had written its name into the galaxy, not with permission, but with decision.